And we are live. We're about halfway through the Oscars tonight. They're announcing Best Supporting Actress, so let's tune in for that. I'm pulling for Monica Barbero from A Complete Unknown. So I know you're pulling for Felicity Jones tonight, huh?
I am, although I'm also hedging my bet by pulling for Ariana Grande.
Really
Yeah,
interesting.
but I thought I did think that the most powerful Best Supporting Actress can't, job performance was Felicity Jones. It just felt weird that it's a 3.5 hour movie and she's only in an hour of it.
Yeah, that's a factor. It's like I wonder how much screen time someone needs for to be considered for something like this. You know what I mean? Like how prominent of a role do you need to be? Like
Yeah.
how much of the movie do you need to be in to be considered? Maybe there's no. I feel like Zoe Saldana is going to win, which I'm like,
Yeah, I mean we can I mean and we'll talk about Kieran in a bit. But I'm I'm not really upset with that three-peat as much as I kind of would be iffy about Zoe Saldana's three-peat.
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised certainly, but man, they're really drumming up the excitement. Okay.
And it's especially considering the fact that like to
Uh,
me the fact that I did finish Amelia Perez, like to me I thought Selena Gomez was better than she was in that.
and Selena Gomez was only nominated for a Golden Globe, right? She wasn't even nominated for any of these awards. She wasn't nominated for SAG.
Yeah. Yeah, there it is. There she is. The the three-peat is complete here.
And also, wasn't Zoe Saldana like more of a lead actress in that movie? I feel like she had a lot more screen time
Well,
than Carla Sofia Gascon.
no, I don't think so.
The
Um,
part that I saw, I mean, at least the first 45 minutes that I saw.
well, that's because half of that 45 minutes, Carlos Sofia Gascon was a man.
True, true.
So yeah, so Zoe completes the three-peat here, and yeah, I mean, I just like I said, I don't, as far as a supporting actress role in that, if it was gonna win, I just didn't think she was the best supporting actress in that movie.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's not really a surprise. I mean, this is the
yeah,
second repeat that we've had as far as actor awards with Kieran Culkin. He won previously. She's winning. She won previously.
well, it's only the second acting award period that we've had, so
Yeah, I know. It feels, I mean, we're already almost 2 hours into the show and we've given away a lot of the other awards,
yeah,
makeup, animation, all that stuff.
yeah.
So,
Well, those
yeah,
two, the supporting ones, they always do early,
yeah.
and they kind of backload. They kind of backload the rest of them. I have to ask right now because
Well,
she is very much doing the ugly cry right now, and I know her overacting or over emotions and lioness were a problem for you. So I gotta ask what you think of her over emotions here with the acceptance.
yeah, I mean, she hasn't burned me. She's done nothing wrong to me. I don't know. There's something about the vibes are off to me. I think it's just that I don't care for Zoe Saldana, and that's fine. You don't have to care for everyone in life. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
just feel bad. Like there's nothing she did to me. Like she was in Crossroads, the Britney Spears movie. So like, how can I hate her? But I don't know.
how could I hate her?
Something about her. I don't know. I feel like she's kind of loony in real life.
I don't know if I can comment on that because I don't know any real life applications I've seen her in. I've just on screen things.
I'm pretty sure, like, it seems like she kind of wears the pants. I think her husband has her last name. It's one of those situations where the
Oh
husband decided to
gosh,
take the wife's last name. Like total emasculating, like beta move. Sorry.
Yeah.
But
Uh, is her husband kind of a regular person or
I
a
think they showed him in the audience. He's got like a ponytail. He's like a model looking
oh,
guy,
that
I
I
feel
did
like.
see him. I did see him. Okay, yeah, I know. I saw the shot of him. I didn't realize that was her husband. But he's not like famous or anything. He's just a
No, I don't
guy.
think so. I think he was a model maybe. I don't think he was an actor or anything. Like his name isn't known, to
Fa-
people.
famous adjacent.
Famous adjacent. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, now that we have a commercial break, I mean, we're not going to get to the first 2 hours of the show almost, but I mean, let's just kind of go over a few highlights. I guess, starting with Conan, I feel like he's killing it, and
Mhm.
I um I made a comment on X that during the first commercial break, the executives should have been already asking Conan if he would do it next year if they're smart.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't was Kevin Hart the one that got pulled off of it on the COVID year. Like I said,
Uh,
I still want to see him host it, but if that can't happen, I wouldn't mind seeing Conan come back again and again. This has
I
been very good.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like just when he would host his show, like the way he would do his monologue, like he seemed comfortable up there and like just I was dying at like just his mannerisms and just the way he's so like lanky and awkward. And then, he heard like one big laugh in the audience. He's like, "Thank you, that one guy." I just love he's so quick-witted. I love his little aside comments. I think they're hilarious. So yeah, if they were smart, they would get him again. I mean, there were so many parts in his monologue that I thought were clever or funny. Like there wasn't really that many things that I was just like, oh, that was a dud. That was awful.
Yeah. And one of a couple of my favorite Conan jokes from the monologue were one where he says, we didn't use any AI in the making of this show, just child labor. But hey, at least they're people."
I didn't even catch that one.
I thought that was a good one. And then the other one that I kind of got a chuckle out of when he's talking about all the actors' old headshots.
Yeah.
He shows Guy Pearce, he shows Zoe Saldana's like awkward teenage yearbook photos, and then Timothee Chalamet, and it's a picture of a sonogram.
Yeah. So he's like, "You're a fetus," basically. I thought
Yeah,
that was pretty funny. I was really shocked, and I thought it was funny when he made a comment about Carla Sofia Gascon's publicist. And then he was like, "Oh, she's here tonight." And I'm like, "Oh man, like I can't believe he addressed it." And they showed her and she was kind of joking, like she took it like, but she was probably like dying inside.
I mean, I guess they made up right for this controversy thing, the old tweet because she wasn't at the SAGs, and we thought she was in persona non
Exile.
grata. Yeah, yeah, exile. Yeah, so we kind of thought she was being shunned there, and here she is at the Oscars. So I guess they kind of made up for that.
Yeah, so I kind of pooped my pants when he mentioned her. I was like, "Oh, damn, he's going there." But it was funny. Like everybody laughed, including her, which she was a good sport about it.
Yeah, I will
And
say though, when he did his little dance at the end of his monologue when Deadpool rolled in, I was like, this is a missed opportunity. Now, granted, he never took the mask off, so it could have been Ryan
yeah.
Reynolds. But how was that not an opportunity to get Ryan Reynolds in there?
Well, I mean, if Ryan Reynolds has learned anything, I don't know if I don't think you've been keeping up with this whole Blake Lively, Justin
I,
Baldoni thing, but yeah, Ryan Reynolds probably shouldn't be showing his face places because people are like, you need to stay out of it for a while.
well, don't tell that to the Mint Mobile ads.
I have Mint Mobile and I love it, but I mean, has my opinion of Ryan Reynolds changed? Yes, it very much
Yeah.
has these past couple months. So now they're back to showing a behind the scenes of The Substance, which I just watched yesterday, and
So glad. I'm so glad you.
I'm kind of glad I gave it a chance. Like I was asking you questions that it wasn't about certain things because I kind of had an idea of it being scarier, like boo scary or like possession scary or like the kind of scary I didn't want to see. And you kind of answered my questions and I was like, okay, I'm going to watch it during the day just in case. And
Yeah.
I did. And it was interesting. I'm glad I watched it.
That's you listening to too many other podcasts and them giving you bad information, telling you it's a horror because there was no trace of that film that was traditional slasher horror movie.
And like the spoiler that they had, it was actually Sylvester Stallone's daughter's podcast that they were talking about it, and they just said that like, oh, she takes this stuff and it makes her do crazy things, like, or it makes her look crazy, or like they're like, oh wow, it was so disturbing. So like, I guess it wasn't really a spoiler because I didn't know what that was going to look like.
Which wasn't even accurate. Her taking the substance is not what made her look weird. It was her the other being, the other self taking too much of it.
Yeah, so it was not really what I thought. So I'm glad that I kind of, went against my impressions and just watched it, and I enjoyed it. It was a little gross at the end and a little like gratuitous like gore, but I didn't mind it. I thought it was good. But now we're watching woke Ben Stiller introduce production design.
Yeah. I don't quite know what that skit was that he was doing there.
Yeah, I don't either. So I
Now
would assume.
hmm,
Yeah, go ahead.
the production design, I'm kind of catching myself up on the nominees here just so I don't forget anything. Um I feel like I don't remember if Wicked is on there. I'll find out. I'll
I
get
feel,
to find out in
yeah,
a second.
Wicked is probably gonna win, I would
Yeah.
say.
I feel like Wicked probably should win this, but I would not be upset if the Brutalist won. Because I
Yeah.
think
I
of
mean,
the shot they showed was that study room. So when I think of production design, I just think of the study room that they did uh to build for um Guy Pearce.
oh yeah, I could see Ben Stiller. I read his lips. He said Wicked.
Oh good.
Yeah, which I didn't see, but I mean, if you look at the shots, like I mean, it does look like the sets are like very, very extremely detailed and like ornate and crazy. So like I guess they deserve it, even though I didn't see it.
Yeah, and the other thing, I mean, this is not the first one that Wicked has won tonight. Won in this Academy Awards because they won costume as well, which I was pretty happy for as well. The only other one I think that I would have been okay with was actually that's not true. I wouldn't have been okay with any of them because all the other ones were like okay cardinal robes or period piece period piece costumes from a complete unknown. So yeah,
Mhm.
okay, it took a lot of research and work in that context, but nothing like really over the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like those costumes, like all those crazy dresses and stuff like that took a lot to put those together, I'm sure.
Which we actually should make note to the history of that win from earlier in the show because I want to make sure I get his name right. Paul Tazwell, turns out that was the first black man to win in the
Costume.
costume and I was gonna say costume and makeup, costume design.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's significant, and I'm a little surprised, honestly. I'm a little surprised that I mean, when you think of how long ago it was when Sidney Poitier kind of broke the color barrier at the Oscars, I'm kind of surprised that there hasn't been, you know, a black man that's won that award.
I guess, like it's different thinking about acting awards, but something like costume design, I don't know.
Right.
I guess I would imagine it's mostly women and mostly white men, if at all. Or sometimes it's it's like a, I don't want to say a husband and wife, but sometimes it's like a guy and a woman, like a partnership that do
That
comedy.
yeah, that's true. That's true. They are usually like
Yeah.
a dual nominee going in there.
I don't know why Mick Jagger is up here. Is he
That
introducing?
is Mick Jagger, isn't it?
Yeah, it was like introducing Mick Jagger, and I'm like, why is he there?
Oh, you know what? It must be a musical category. We must be doing a musical category.
Oh my God. Why does
Yeah.
Kylie Jenner have her boobs like up to her chin? Like, that's not a good look for the Oscars, girlfriend. Like, she's got like an extreme push up bra, like, not appropriate.
That may have caught that in the little cut in I did there.
Okay, so this is Best Original Song. So yeah, just having to do with Bob Dylan. That's why Mick Jagger was presenting it, I guess.
Yeah. So, well, okay, so that's actually an interesting thought because technically none of the Bob Dylan songs are original because they're Bob Dylan songs.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? Like something from Sing Sing, something from Wicked. Well, I guess technically Wicked's not really original either because it's a play.
Right. Yeah, so
So,
it's just songs from Amelia Perez. What one did I see before?
it was what was the other one I just saw? Yeah.
Oh, that 6888 movie. Diane Warren, she's a prominent songwriter. She wrote a lot of big ballads and stuff. So she could very well win.
Well, that wouldn't so much mind that instead of
Yeah.
the cringy transgender song from Amelia Perez.
Yeah, please no Amelia Perez, please.
Um,
Those songs are a joke.
vaginoplasty, rhinoplasty.
Penis or vagina.
At least it was only in like the first half of the movie, and then it kind of like faded off a little bit, and it got more into
Okay,
like
so just the
storytelling.
first half of the movie that I watched.
Yeah, exactly.
That I suffered through that first 45 minutes.
Yeah, if you got past the hour mark, it would have been less to suffer through.
Ugh.
That was the other one I saw right off the top of Sing Sing. I was having a little brain fart there.
Yes.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it if Sing Sing, but I don't know necessarily. I don't remember like a full song in it. Like there were kind of like little bits and pieces where they sang, but it was like a full song.
Is it multiple songs from Amelia Perez? That's
Probably.
there's like 2 or 3 or something. So it's like they
Well,
have more chance to win. I hope that's
I wouldn't so much mind if the Selena Gomez one won because that one didn't. That one actually felt like a song in a movie. It didn't feel like a song for the purposes of an agenda. You know what I mean?
yeah. Come on, Elton John. Brandy Carlisle. Everyone loves her for some reason. I'm not really sipping that Kool-Aid. I don't know. It's just she doesn't do anything for me.
Wait, what was this? An Elton John biopic? I didn't even realize that.
Like a documentary, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So he just he wrote a new song specifically for this piece on his life, I guess.
Yes. That's what it
Okay,
seems like.
okay. Well, that's not okay. That's not bad. I wouldn't mind that.
Anyone but Amelia Perez, please. Anyone.
Yeah. And the title of the first one was El Mal. I don't even remember which cringy song that was.
Uh that was one of
Oh,
them. I don't even remember which one it was.
I think I just heard him. I think I heard him say El Mal.
Yeah, but I don't remember which one that was.
It was well, it was definitely one of the ones that that you would have seen because Zoe, when they did the cut in, Zoe was singing it, and that was early on.
It might have been one of the first. There was what didn't the movie like start off with a song basically?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There was one very early, and then there was the one with the doctor. Yep, Elmo. Oh, I missed the lower third, but I was right, so it's okay. That's well, but yeah, well, I mean, I guess it depends on like how upset we want to be with how many awards it takes home, because right now that's its second one.
Yeah, and they were nominated for 10, I think. Amelia Perez.
Probably, yeah, because Best Picture, Gascon was is nominated. Um, so yeah, that's quite a bit. I think the director is up there, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he is. I know he is.
Yeah, hopefully, I wouldn't mind if the Anora director won because he wrote it and directed it, and I kind of
Yeah,
like. I know I
and
like
that
the creativity in that movie. Like it was just original concept. It's something you hadn't really seen before.
yeah. Well, I guess speaking of Anora, we can certainly catch up on that one. We haven't really done a deep dive on that yet.
Oh yeah. So Anora won Best Original Screenplay, which
Yeah,
I was very happy about because there was that moment in the beginning when they did the Best Supporting Actor award, and I like this tradition of how the person presenting the award addresses each actor.
Mhm.
I really like that, and I love the fact that Robert Downey Jr. started with Igor, whatever his name is, the supporting actor
Yuri
from
something. Yeah,
Anora. Because I absolutely loved that guy in that movie. He was so good, and he just seems like in real life he's such a sweet guy. So when Robert Downey Jr. was addressing him, I like you could see him kind of like turning a little pink, like he was getting like nervous. And um I really liked that, just the genuine, like, oh, I really just the way that they're talking directly to the actors. I really, really liked that.
I felt a little silly because I didn't necessarily. I mean, he's not like a well-known act name, so like I didn't look at the filmography. So I saw the name. I see a Russian name. I kind of just assumed it was Vanya. I didn't realize it was Igor. So when they were showing the nominees, I realized it was Igor. I'm like, oh, well, that makes me even more happier that's him, and much more sad to know that he's probably not going to win this.
Yeah, I mean, he was nominated for a Golden Globe. He was nominated for a SAG. So like, I really, wanted to see him win something. But I mean, so we weren't really surprised when Kieran Culkin won. Um, but I just Kieran Culkin, he's a crowd pleaser. Like when he gets up there, like the whole audience is just in the palm of his hand. You know what I mean? Like he's another one who's very quick-witted, and people loved his speech. You could just tell they're just hanging on every word he's saying, even if he's just making it up as he goes along. And
Which I think he
um
does.
and I didn't really know, like, or I didn't remember that he was up against Jeremy Strong.
Jeremy Strong. Yeah,
Jeremy Strong. So he's up against his Succession co-star once again, and
yeah.
he did address him directly, and then he said, "Oh, well, I was told not to, talk about favorites." So he kind of moved along after he complimented Jeremy's performance in The Apprentice.
Yeah, once again up against each other, and once again Kieran beats him. I,
Yeah,
I will say though, and I cannot be mad that Kieran won that award
yeah, I can't
because
either.
I genuinely do enjoy him, but he is always playing himself. So I felt like, to me, I felt like Jeremy Strong as Roy Cohen was the best like actual depth type of performance in that.
Yeah, and he did have to play like he was like ill and like dying in one part, so he did have to
Mhm.
play like sickness, and yeah, I mean, I don't really know the real like Roy Cohn, what he was like to compare it to, but it's different when you're playing a real person who existed and walked the earth. And just someone who's like based on an idea, which is what Kieran Culkin was.
That's right. Yeah, that's true. And back to Anora. Um, not only did it win.
Original screenplay.
Yeah. Wait, it won 2 though.
Did it?
I could have sworn it did because I remember thinking maybe it didn't. Maybe I made that in my head. I thought it did. Oh, when editing right before we came on. Right before we came on.
Oh, I missed
That's
that
right.
one.
That's right. Yes, that's right. Yeah, it won editing. So it did win 2. And I'm thinking when it won screenplay, I'm like, I'm really glad this film won something because I was, like we said with Kieran, I wasn't expecting it to win actor. I'm not expecting Mikey Madison to win best actress. So I was glad it won something. So the fact that it won 2 is like really makes me really happy.
Yeah, they deserve it. That was one of my favorite movies of the year. Like definite top 3, if not the favorite. So
And the fact that like you wouldn't necessarily think of a movie about strippers and escorts to be something that would have such a resonating effect on the audience. You know what I'm saying?
I did not. I mean, I watched the first like half hour of that movie. I'm just like, ugh, like this is I can't. And then as it went on, like I remember it was kind of long. I think it was over 2 hours. And after the first, like, I would say 45 minutes, hour, I was like laughing. I was like
It was
bawling. Like at the
Yeah.
end, I was like crying. Like it was a roller coaster.
Yeah, that last scene where, well, not necessarily the last few scenes with Igor and
Oh,
Annie, where you could tell as the movie progressed that he really felt for her.
yes.
Like he really kind of felt bad for what she was going through and how Vanya kind of drunkenly, whether it was intentional or he was just an immature
Yeah.
drunken kid, kind of took advantage of her. Even if it was just in the emotional sense of the word. Um, like he felt that he felt like she got played, and them having their little back and forth a little bit. I don't want to say the token line because I'm sure YouTube won't like that. But them having a little back and forth on the couch. I really enjoyed that, and then of course at the end, it kind of was a little funny that she just like gets on top of him and rides him in his car. But after she does that, she just completely breaks down and like slaps him a couple times, and I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe that was like payback for when he was trying to hold her down when she was freaking out when they came to the house earlier on. But instead of like reacting and striking her back or something, he like just holds her tighter and continues to comfort her. So but those 2 scenes I thought were like kind of a more subtle example of extreme emotion.
Yeah, I mean it was just the fact that she I think was so like damaged from being like a stripper and a call girl that like
Yeah.
she's kind of like angry at herself for falling for Vanya and like being stupid and like so she literally didn't know what it looks like when a man like really cares. So
Yeah.
that's why she had that like weird reaction, like she wanted to fight back, and then he's just like, no, like I'm here for you. And yeah, I like that. I was bawling at the end because I was just like, oh, I was like, they should be together, but she's just so like damaged, and like he's just so good to her. Like,
Which makes sense that she wouldn't know what that real emotion feels like because she's
right,
a stripper. She's used to guys just, wanting to see her jugs and throwing dollar bills at her.
right. She had never met someone who had legitimate feelings for her outside of like her body or being a stripper.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
They're
now
just
we're going
yeah, they're
over
just doing documentaries.
documentaries and shorts, I think.
I'm actually okay. I will say because last year I was able to see um all the shorts. The one of the local theaters by me, they just kind of did one feature presentation of all of them, and they weren't doing that this year because
Hmm.
I'm looking at their schedule and they're playing like it's like Hamilton time at the local theater. So it's just like, well, I don't want to see Hamilton. I want to see all the Oscar shorts.
Yeah, I remember last year you told me about all of the different ones that you saw, but yeah, usually shorts are not really something that I end up trying to tackle or to see.
Hmm. There's a few people hopping on. If you want to let us know what you think of the Oscar night, drop your comments below and we'll talk about them.
Yeah, any deserved wins that you thought, any upsets to you? We want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Put it out there.
Uh, let's
Let's
see.
see what else.
What else could we catch up on? Oh wait, what's this? Oh, this was the documentary. That's right. That's right. So the earlier ones, I thought that actually, who was the actress? Who was the actress that was presenting with Scarlett Johansson? I missed like her real name. I just heard
Oh,
Conan's
June
nickname
June
for her.
Squibb. She was really funny.
Yeah.
She's still got it. She's probably 90 something and she's still
Oh
got it.
shit. Wow. Yeah, when she
Pretty
said
wrong.
ScarJo made some comment about how like she didn't put a lot of effort into her makeup. And June Squibb said something about like how she's being currently portrayed by Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah.
I was dying when she said that because I think Bill Skarsgård is the old man from Thor. Well, he's been in a lot too, but I always
No,
think of Thor.
Bill Skarsgård is the guy. I didn't see it, but he's the guy who played the clown in It, like the recent remake a few
Oh,
years ago. Wait, I think
oh, I'm
was
thinking
he
of Stellan. I'm thinking of Stellan Skarsgård or Stellan Skarsgård.
there's a lot of Skarsgårds, so
Yeah.
understandable to get confused. But yeah, I think he was like the monster or whatever in Nosferatu. I didn't see that either. I wouldn't. So
Oh, was he? Oh,
I
okay,
think
okay.
so. I think he was the main, like, I don't know what to call it. Like, what is that? A monster? A
The
vampire? Like,
main
what is
villain,
that?
I guess. The main villain.
Yeah.
Um, I will say, I did try to watch Nosferatu the other night, and I could not get into it. I really could not get into it. I feel like they could have moved that along a little bit faster.
Oh, is it like slow moving or something?
Yeah, yeah. It wasn't. It didn't come off like this vampire scary type of thing.
Yeah. I mean, it did get nominated for a few awards with the makeup and things like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
However,
yeah, go ahead.
the winner of that category was, of course, The Substance, which I thought was probably the biggest slam dunk of this Oscars.
Yeah, much deserving, and I believe it was their first nomination, which I love when that's like when it's someone's like first nomination or first win. Like I love that because I'm just like,
Mhm.
oh, like it's one thing for all the Meryl Streeps to just keep winning over and over again. You're just like, but when it's someone new and it's someone who's just like really excited about it because like they just can't believe it, that's when it's the greatest to see those speeches.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because they feel a little bit more.
Authentic and
Authentic is a good
grateful.
word.
Yeah.
Yeah, grateful.
Authentic and
Thank you. That's what I was trying to get at. Not so much authentic, which is also true, but grateful is what I was trying to get at. It feels
yeah, yeah.
because that's almost like, especially when they're the kind of behind the camera categories. It feels to me that feels like we're grateful for this award because we don't know if we're going to be back here. Now, obviously, you're holding little
Right.
golden Oscar. it's probably going to increase the chances that you get brought on for another gig. But you
True.
know, the actors are the ones that obviously get all the face time. So it's the behind the scenes crew is, and there's probably like a lot more of them, and who knows how their unions work. So they,
Mm,
the work probably gets spread around a little bit more with them, and they may not have the opportunity to work on something of a lot of gravitas in the future.
yeah, and that's kind of why I like when like the underdog kind of wins, so to speak.
Hmm.
For that, even for the best animated Flow one, which is like this Latvian movie. Like it wasn't Disney that won. Which I did see Inside Out 2 a couple weeks ago. Like I loved the original Inside Out. This just like did not do it for me. The sequel, it was kind of lackluster.
I love the original one too, and I'm kind of glad that I didn't. I don't know why, but I feel like I heard something about it that Disney did their usual Disney thing of late. So I was kind of like, I don't know if I want to like ruin the nostalgia of Inside Out in my head.
I mean, I don't remember it being woke or something. It just I don't know. It was just it seemed like the magic kind of fizzled to me. So I was glad that something else won. I would have also liked for Wild Robot to have one because I thought that was
I
great.
really liked Wild Robot.
But yeah, so I do like when like the unexpected. I was glad to see another little like Latvian studio or whatever take it aside from Disney, this big conglomerate.
Plus, I canceled Disney Plus, so I didn't want to waste a free trial just to see that.
Yeah, there
But
you
I'm actually a little upset that I haven't seen Flow yet, only because I looked it up after they won and I didn't realize that they're on Max. So I could have very easily watched that. I didn't have to pay an Amazon Prime rental charge for that one.
Oh man. Oh,
But
and
I
did
did
you did
see
you
Wild
uh
Robot.
did you notice they did call it out, but I noticed very early on in the show that Nick Offerman was doing all the announcing.
I didn't recognize and I should recognize his voice, obviously. But I
Yeah.
didn't. I didn't recognize his voice until he had the little back and forth with Conan.
Really? I
Yeah.
wrote it down in my notes when Kieran Culkin, I think, was talking, I was like, that is Nick Offerman. I was like, it's a very interesting gig that they asked him to do that for ABC for this show. But
Well,
yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean his voice is unmistakable.
yeah, I was gonna say how many voices are better than Ron Swanson.
Yeah.
Which, funny enough, how funny was it that when he's having a little back and forth with Conan, the next category was announced by Amy Poehler.
Yeah. Yeah,
Or
I did notice that. I was like, there's a few ties to Parks and Rec right here.
yeah, or excuse me, I heard a voiceover. It wasn't him, but someone pronounced her name Amy Poehler, and I was like, is that the way you're supposed to say her name? I've been saying it wrong all these years.
Oh, he was joking around like as if he didn't
Oh,
know.
oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay. So that was kind of a Parks and Rec
Like
thing then.
Amy
Yeah.
Poehler?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So that was a little Parks and Rec tongue in cheek thing.
Yeah. What is this? Is this best foreign film or are they just introducing best picture? This is I'm Still
This is
Here. I watched
Yeah. This is just one of the best
I
pictures.
watched this last night and it was all obviously it's a Brazilian film, so it's all subtitles, which I don't mind reading. I know a lot of people are just like, I'm not gonna read a movie. You have those stuck up people like that. But I enjoyed it. It
I,
was a good story.
I'm
What?
one of those people.
You don't like reading a movie?
I don't like reading a movie. I hate reading a movie.
You just really have to pay attention. And I am a multitasker, so I just have to, I can't like touch my phone. If someone texts me or something, I gotta pause it because I'm gonna miss something.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm well. My thing is because I focus on the captions too much. So
I
I'm like
yeah.
reading, and I'm not kind of actively watching the video itself.
I kind of do that too, but like I feel like I have to know like how certain things are like spelled, and like I need to know like, if it's like a different dialect or something, if it's, like a Cockney accent and you're like, God damn, I have no idea what anyone's saying. Like I need to know what the words are. Like captions are the best for that.
Yeah. They are doing a little tribute to Los Angeles fire departments for the wildfires, which is, I think, a very nice thing to do because the other award shows, I think they just kind of like did a shout out to the fire departments, but they didn't actually do anything like this, like with, firefighters up on the stage.
Yeah, they didn't have them on the stage. SAG Awards, they had them sitting in the audience, and I don't know if they have like more of them in the audience, but I don't know if these are all just like chiefs or higher ups
Well,
in the
they've all
fire.
got I could see a different ranking insignias and different I don't want to say collars, whatever the edge of your sleeve is called. They're like different lines, so I feel like they are different ranks.
Yeah, they could be. And I don't know if it's like the same as cops. Is it like sergeant, chief, captain, all that?
There are different ranks. Yes, there are different ranks in the fire department. There's not as many of them, but there is a lieutenant, there is chief, so there are
Some
different
sort of
ranks.
hierarchy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What else did we have we not talked about that already?
Um,
Oh, this one okay. I want to talk about this one because I'm a little miffed about this one. So Conclave
uh-oh.
one adapted
Oh,
screen, and I was really hoping for Sing Sing here. Um, because not only after I watched it, I realized when they're rolling the cast, I realized that most of the actors in that are the real inmates from the prison.
mm,
Which, I mean, I guess makes sense because it was, an acting program they were running, so of course they're
right.
trained actors, so to speak. So I was really so that was very noteworthy to me, but also the fact that they said they were talking to Coleman Domingo on the red carpet, and they said that that entire film was shot in 19 days.
I did hear that. I did
Yeah,
hear that. And then The Brutalist was shot in like 37 days. And I was like, excuse me, what? That was just such a massive movie. That was shocking too.
really. The 30, so just over a month for a 3.5 hour movie. And
I
something that, like, there were a lot of different scenes. Like, there were scenes where Laszlo's clean shaven and then he's got a big bushy beard. I'm like, did they shoot this thing out of order too?
Oh yeah, movies are always shot out of order. Like they're
Well,
just
yeah,
like
I know.
whatever makes sense first. What is this? This category is for um Dune. Wait, Dune Part 2 and A Complete Unknown are nominated in the same thing?
Well, they're obviously this is not Best Picture right now, but they are both
Oh,
nominated for Best Picture.
is this score maybe?
No, I thought we were done with the music stuff. It could be
Yeah, but
cinematography.
they did best original song, but I don't think they did best score.
No,
This must be score.
they did do another category after the song though,
They
so I
did?
assume that was score, yeah. But we'll see in a few minutes. I feel like it could be
Oh,
cinematography.
sound.
Sound, okay. Oh, Wild Robot.
At least it's not
Sound.
Amelia Perez, so I'm just fine with Dune Part 2. I loved Conan's joke about the actors in Dune are like, "What the hell is this movie about?"
Yeah, which I find ironic because Dune
It's a
is,
remake.
yeah, or well, I didn't watch part two, so I don't necessarily remember if part one was a remake or just like a sequel of sorts. Um, I guess it was probably I guess it's probably a remake though.
I think
I
it,
didn't watch it because I didn't want to ruin my nostalgia from the original Dune.
my husband made me watch the first one and haven't watched the second one, but don't
The first
intend.
new one. The first new one, not the original.
Yeah, the first new one. Not
Yeah.
I've never seen the original.
Yeah, I feel like, especially for the time it was made, just from like an appreciation of sci-fi before the modern era, it's kind of a must see. But yeah, that was one I could not bring myself to watch just because it was I can't ruin this nostalgia of the original Dune.
Yeah, it's got a lot of star power, but I just feel like it just doesn't really have a lot of substance. Like I feel like the actors who are in it are just in it because of the paycheck. And like it's a big
Mhm.
blockbuster kind of movie.
Yeah, yeah. And that I mean that's probably true. And I mean it's it's weird that they're kind of like slipping it into the cat like the blockbuster type of films. It's weird that they're kind of slipping them into the categories because if you think of like the Star Wars of years past, the Marvel movies, like they never used to try and do that. So it's weird that
Yeah.
like every so often they try to like slip a big blockbuster in.
Yeah, they did that with was that Golden Globes? They had Deadpool nominated for something. Like they never would have nominated a comic book movie back in the day for
No.
anything.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that being said, not many of them are certainly Oscar material, but some of them certainly were.
And like even the fact that this Alien movie, which I haven't even heard of because there's so many like sequels and offshoots of Alien that yeah, that's nominated in this category. Special
Yes,
effects, I think.
probably, yeah. Because I think that was the only thing that I saw. I think that was the only
I
thing
wanted to see
think I
that
saw
Better
Alien.
Man, the Robbie Williams movie. I just haven't gotten around to it. I still will probably see it.
After seeing the little shot they did of the makeup in the makeup category, I kind of want to watch it now because that one shot they showed, the makeup was like on par with the substance makeup. So
Mm,
I kind of want to watch
what
that.
is
Double dip for Dune.
Oh, this is Dune again?
Yeah, Dune again. So Dune wins for sound and Dune wins for graphics.
I wonder how many they were even. Oh, third win and third nomination. But yeah, how many awards was Dune nominated for? That's kind of surprising.
Uh, they must have won for score then, because that was the only one we were kind of talking when they were doing that one. They must have won for score because that was the only other one we haven't spoke about.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's stuff like that. I mean, those are the categories that movies like this really go over the top with. So I
Yeah.
mean, I guess it's kind of okay to see movies like that get these awards because they're never gonna they're never gonna get any other awards. They're never gonna get the acting awards, the directing awards, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
not
that's
even.
kind of the good thing is like when they don't really it's not that they don't have a chance. I mean, just to be nominated with, five or six other like other people or teams is huge and like they should be, happy they made it that far, but yeah, not everyone can win unfortunately. So,
Because didn't even Avatar, what didn't Avatar get upset? Wasn't that a big thing years and years back? Like it
I
was.
think I remember them being nominated for like a lot of awards, but
Yeah,
yeah, I don't think they ended up taking even like half of what they were nominated for.
I think they could have even gotten skunked from what my memory.
Completely?
Yeah, I think they got skunked with all the awards. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they won like the visual thing, there's visual effects and that sort of thing. But I don't think they. I don't think they took home much more than that, if anything. I really think they took a donut.
To, hmm.
But
I'll have.
I remember like they were a heavy favorite for Best Picture because I remember a lot of people were upset because Cameron had put in so much work into that. Um,
I mean, I resisted watching Avatar for a while because I was like, this looks stupid. And then I finally watched it and I was like, it's kind of overrated.
yeah, I thought it was very overrated, and I didn't realize it until years later. Somebody made a joke that it was a grown up Fern Gully. I forgot who said that.
It's a comedian say said that?
No, 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 no. It was a real
A real
it was a real
person?
life, yeah, it was a real life friend. I forgot who said it, so I don't want to misquote who it was. Um, but I remember they said that. I'm like, oh my god, it really is. It really is Fern Gully.
Yeah. It like it I mean, like, yeah, there were notable actors in it and stuff, but it just I don't know, it just I didn't think it was that great.
No, it didn't. And to me, not even the visual effects were to me very impressive with it. Because
Yeah.
I remember watching it, and it was like in the early days of 3D, where you would go, you get the cheesy glasses at the movie theater, and you would wear them. And I really didn't see like a lot of depth in the video in the 3 dimensional glasses. So I was like, so not only is this cheesy, the visual effects aren't even that impressive because it's billed as 3D and it doesn't even feel 3D.
Yeah. Now this is a sort of a divisive issue that we were talking about amongst us. So I want to get your thoughts about the kind of like the musical spectacles in this show. So first off, the show started out with like I don't know if I would call it a Wicked tribute because so Ariana Grande came out singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow, which
Yeah,
obviously is a Wizard of Oz song. They don't, that's not associated with Wicked. Like she doesn't sing that song in the
no,
movie,
it's
does
not
she?
Wicked. It's not even. It's. I don't even think it's in the play.
Okay, so
I don't remember them singing that in the play.
it was just like a tribute to Wizard of Oz or something,
Right.
making that
Yeah.
connection. So, I mean, I was just thinking the whole time, like, I mean, I know they want to like introduce the show with a bang and stuff, but like, Cynthia Erivo, like, she's got a beautiful voice and she sings very well. Don't get me wrong, but like, I could not take her seriously when she's gripping the microphone. She's got these talons. Then she's got a glittery septum piercing. Then she's got literally like 87 piercings on her ear, both ears. I was just like, lady, I cannot take you seriously. Like, I just can't.
Just close your eyes and listen to the music. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah, I,
I mean,
I,
they sang "Defying Gravity." It's a great song, and they sang it just like they did in the movie. So I mean, I got enjoyment out of that, and being that it is kind of like one of the heavy hitters as far as total nominations this year. I did kind of think it was appropriate to lead off like that.
yeah, I mean, the performance was great, but it's just like I just can't like it cheapens it for me when the star like looks a
It's a
certain way.
cartoon
Like,
character.
yeah, just seeing her hold that microphone, I just like it took me out of it.
So I have to ask because we differ with the whole musicals in TV thing. Um, and like so, I really enjoyed Wicked. Uh, but they sang that song, which you enjoyed other than the visual. You enjoyed hearing it. They sang it exactly like they did in the movie. So what's the difference in watching them perform it? Um, watching them perform it live at an event versus seeing it on in a motion picture.
Well, I mean, I'm familiar with this song just because it's like all over social media. Like I've heard it before, and like I'm pretty sure when I watched Glee, like Adina Menzel like sang it in Glee, and like I don't get me wrong, I would fast forward a lot of performances for certain characters in Glee, But yeah, I mean, I'm familiar with the Defying Gravity song, and I do like Ariana Grande's singing as Glinda better because like Ariana Grande singing as herself with her like R&B music or whatever you want to call it, like it's not pleasing to the ears. Like, so although she does talk strangely now because she talks like Glenda and she talks like a doll, like because like even though she's like very weird and she's like regressing in her speech, like I did find it more tolerable her singing as Glinda. And like I'm wondering if that's going to affect like if she does put out any of her like music, is it going to affect her singing voice? Is she going to sound more like Glinda? Like, or is she going to take a while to drop it like Austin Butler dropping the Elvis after like 2 years?
Oh, yeah. Oh, and that's sad because I thought he did a nice job with the Elvis songs.
Yeah, but he
Oh,
hung on to it. Like it was just like it affected his voice permanently. Like he couldn't help but just do that voice because he had done it for years.
well, I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, it's not a far-fetched idea, even if it wasn't intentional for a artist to kind of have a transitionary period, changing their voice. Because I mean, obviously Taylor Swift now is nothing like Taylor Swift old school.
Yeah, but that's a different style. Like the fact that like Ariana Grande is like has changed her whole like not appearance necessarily, like her whole like way of being, and she does talk differently now. Like I saw her interviewed on the red carpet and it's like a completely different person and it's very jarring. Like it's weird.
It's jarring. I don't even recognize you, Ariana.
No, I don't. And she's just like, oh, thank you so much. Like she sounds like a little 14-year-old kid. And she enunciates, which she does not do in songs ever.
Oh, but I but the fact that you don't like musicals, but you were okay listening to it before the show, before the Academy Awards. Why? Because I could tell you they sang exactly like they did in the movie. So why do you not like hearing the song in a musical feature film versus just hearing it being performed?
I think because in musicals, like a film, it's like I would rather just watch the characters engage in dialogue and things happen. Like I kind of like I'm like here we go again. Like when it's like you hear the opening notes of a song and you're like, oh, just kill me, please. Like that's just how I feel with musicals. I'm just like, I want to hear the dialogue. I don't want to hear this like,
So you
and
can't
then I'm
deal
gonna,
with so you can't deal with music in a film, but your reasoning has nothing to do with the music.
but it's unnatural to me to have like to break out into song, and that's why I don't like it. Like I don't know. Like
That's what a
it's
musical is.
it's different going to see a play. Like there's a opera house, you know, that I've seen a couple shows at that I enjoyed, but I don't know, music watching a musical in a film just doesn't really appeal to me because I know that they would be like dancing and doing all this weird stuff and I would just be like this is cheesy and I don't like it.
Quick sidebar: they're currently doing the in memorandum, and
Mm.
I found it a little jarring that Morgan Freeman announced it. Not because Morgan Freeman's not great, because obviously he is, but the man's also pushing 90.
It's like your days
So
are numbered, Morgan Freeman.
yeah, I know. I was like, what are you trying? Is Hollywood calling their shot here? Is he going to be featured in the memoriam next? I don't like the idea of that.
Yeah.
Um, but the other musical special, of course, was that Bond tribute they did, which you might have to remind me as far as I know there's something. I know they're changing the Bond actor now. Daniel Craig's finally hanging up his hat, but isn't there something else significant about Bond right now? Is it an
I
anniversary or something?
I don't know. Maybe it is an anniversary of like, is it like 50 years of Bond or something like that? No, it's got to be more than that.
Um, I don't know. I feel like the Sean Connery Bonds could have been in the 70s.
Oh, I thought it was maybe the 60s or so, but
60s or 70s, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were the 70s.
yeah, but think of it like
Or maybe okay,
1985 is 40 years.
maybe
So
we're yeah, I know. Don't remind me. Um, maybe we're kind of both right there. Maybe it's 60 years because I remember them saying at one point during in this show, this has been going on for 60 years. So maybe it's the 60-year anniversary, and it was in the 60s.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
so here's my problem with it. And I know you think a little bit differently. I, you know, my thing is like, okay, the Oscars is a 3.5 hour show. Like
Mhm.
it's already pretty full. So to have all these like tributes and stuff, like, yeah, it's nice, but like you're just tacking on time to the like you're just like uh, nobody wants this. Nobody in the audience wants to sit there for three. And I'm pretty sure that there are awards that they attend that aren't announced on TV. Like I think that there's like a pre-award show that's not televised.
Mm.
So there's just hours and hours of awards to present, and they just string it out. Like, and it's just like my
Well,
thing is like, why are you going to string it out when the show is already long? Like, just give out the awards, man.
but if they just gave out the awards, it would be over in half an hour. This is like the big night for Hollywood to honor, the best works of the year. So, of course,
But
like
also,
that's
it's
kind of part of the deal to have it be a big event, a big nightly event.
but that's also the key words to me is this is the 2025 Oscars. So you want to honor the people and the crews of the movies that came out this year. Why do we have to do this tribute to Bond? Like it was nice and everything, but I'm just like, why is this like top of mind? Like, why don't we just stick to focus on the people who did performances or did work this year?
Well, I guess you could take solace in the fact that we won't have to deal with it for another 10 years.
What for the
Another
Bond?
Bond, another Bond
No,
tribute.
but if it's not the Bond thing, it's something else. Next year, it's going to be like, oh well, it's 43 years of this thing, and they're going to do a tribute to it. So it's just, I don't know. To me, it's just
Well,
like,
when you have like industry defining film, like industry defining franchises like James Bond, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but like it's also like there wasn't a Bond movie out this year. So it's just kind of like was that necessary? Like not to say I didn't like I thought it was cool with the dancing and stuff. I think Margaret Qualley,
it was her.
she has a background in dance, I'm pretty sure. And she just kind of has like the sort of a ballet body to me. But yeah, she did. She's married to Jack Antonoff, who's a big music producer, and I guess he did a music video, and she like danced in the video. So I'm pretty sure she kind of like had a prior career or kind of moonlights as a dancer.
And I'm glad you brought up that because I thought it was Margaret Qualley because I saw her. I'm like, oh, that's
Oh
Suki.
yeah, definitely her.
And I'm thinking in my mind like I mean Daniel Craig did so many Bond movies that there were a couple that I'm pretty positive I missed. And I'm thinking like, was she a Bond girl at some point? Like, why
No,
is she?
I
And
don't
I'm
think
looking, yeah, she wasn't. I'm scrubbing through her filmography, and I didn't see a Bond movie, a Bond film in there. I'm thinking, is she going to be in the next one? Like, I don't understand why she was in the like. I like the Bond. We differ on that. I like the Bond tribute, but I don't know why she was in it. You know what I'm
I think
saying?
from what I kind of understood, and like especially with the random musicians that were chosen for that tribute. I know the first girl who came out, like she had a great voice and stuff, but I was like, "Who's Lisa?" Like I had no idea who this
That's
this
right.
woman was. So,
And
and then I think it was like Doja Cat or something. So my thing is these people were asked to participate, and you know they probably approached a few actresses who have a dance background and were like, do you want to take part in this? Can you
Yeah.
attend rehearsal? And she probably responded that she could and she wanted to do it. So that's what I think it was, is like these people were sought out and asked if they wanted to participate in this tribute, you know?
Unless, disclaimer, Doja Cat's done a Bond intro song in the past, which I don't know. I don't know if she
Uh,
has or if she
I
hasn't.
don't think so. I think I did miss the last Bond film, which was already maybe 4 or 5 years ago at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah.
But I don't think so, and that's where I think yeah, the Daniel Craig Bond has really been laid to rest, and I don't think we have a new Bond. A lot of people say it's like Aaron Taylor Johnson. I don't know that we have chosen a new Bond at this point.
I don't think we have either, no. And to that point, uh, like Ray, I didn't know who Ray was, but she sang the Skyfall song, and it sounded just like just like the song. So I would assume that she did sing the original ones. So that's kind of why I was wondering about Doja Cat.
No, Adele sang the Skyfall
Oh,
theme.
really? Oh, okay. I'm
Oh, and then
skipping ahead then.
oh, no. You know what? The last Bond movie, which I don't even know when that was, 3 or 4 years ago, that was the theme was done by Billie Eilish for that one. I do remember that.
Okay. Yeah,
So
it's
it was
always a
Billie
famous
Eilish,
art. It's always a
Adele.
famous artist. It's always a well-known one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We
Okay, they're showing The Brutalist as the best picture nominee.
yeah. At which okay, so as far as the Brutalist is concerned, um I I really like this film. I just did not feel like it needed to be 3.5 hours. Actually, I think
Oh,
Conan made a joke about it. He's like, I never wanted to end. Unfortunately, it never did.
yeah, it seemed like many movies in one. Like
Yes.
it just it I don't know. It wasn't best picture to me. Like yes, it was like a magnificent thing, I guess I would say, and like not that it was without talent, but it just I don't know, there was some things in it that I was just like, why would they write that in there? It just didn't
Which
seem necessary.
is sad to me that it didn't, because I can say that I do agree with that statement. And it's sad to me that it didn't feel like that to me, because the acting in it was so phenomenal. Adrian Brody was phenomenal. Felicity Jones was phenomenal in it. Guy Pearce was amazing in it. I just feel like if they just condensed it down and made it like a regular
Yes.
length of a film, it would have given that feeling like this is a Best Picture type of Oscar film.
Yeah, if they had narrowed the focus a little bit because it was just all over the place and it did not need to be that long. It was about architecture and then it was about uh drug use and the harm of that and then it was about assault. Like it was all over the place and it was too much and
Yeah,
it just seemed like, the writers were just like, "Oh, let's get out a laundry bag and pick the big okay, let's put some assault in there. Yeah, let's get that in there." And that like it just seemed like a grab bag of things.
it felt like it felt like it should have been done as a miniseries.
Yeah, I could see that. So just tackling that many focuses and that many like subplots and stuff, it was too much.
Speaking of laundry bag, this was another hot topic amongst us from a while back, is its definition as original screenplay, which fortunately I do not have to go on a soapbox because it didn't win. But I did not feel like this this should have been an original screenplay, because it was Picasso painting Frankenstein's monster of all these real life instances.
Yeah, it was really I assumed it was a true story as I was watching it, and then I was looking it up and it turned out it wasn't. So I was a little
Yeah,
surprised, but
which
yeah, they took like several architects that they kind of based the
mhm.
character of Laszlo off of. So yeah, it was a mixed bag of influences and resources. So yeah.
I think the red flag to me that it wasn't based on a true story was at the end when they showed his building finished. I don't think they said it was finished in Stanford, but or at least the commemoration of the building was in Stanford. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I've been in Stamford, Connecticut a lot in my life, and I don't remember this thing in Stanford. So I think that was kind of the red flag to me that it wasn't a real story.
Yeah.
But
Oh, this
to that point, with like taking little bits and pieces from different architects, to me that rings adaptation. Even if it's collectively not a true story, leaning towards more original, it's still bits and pieces of other true stories. To me, that's adaptation, 100%.
Yeah, it was I think it was like the writer's father was an architect or something like that. So that's why they were bringing in like the styles of things. Oh, is this best director? Oh, The Brutalist just won for best director.
I'm not upset by this.
I mean, it was like I said, it was a magnificent thing. Like I'm not saying it was a piece of garbage. I it wasn't best picture material for me. So, but for him to like wrangle this massive 3.5 hour long movie that had an intermission, by the way, like
Yeah, with a 15-minute intermission, which like did that kind of like throw you off? Because I saw it in the theater, so I'm sitting there, and it was funny because like I was starting to get the dozes. I was starting to like doze off a little bit because the movie was so long,
yeah.
and hit the intermission, and the house lights turned up a little bit. I'm like, what's happening? What's happening right now? And then I look at the screen, it's like a 15-minute countdown. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, so the version I had was from Amazon or something. So it did have like a counter on the screen for a second, and then they edited out the intermission.
Really? Oh, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
it gave like 5 seconds and they edited out and like went right back to it.
So, why that's interesting to me is it the one in the film, it's a like an old vintage picture that the intermission countdown's playing over.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
It's real old
I
school. It looks like it's from the 40s.
yeah. So I think that's funny that they edited that out and just put a generic clock over it because as weird as it was to pop up, it was kind of cool to see some old photo, which at that point, I'm thinking, oh shoot, maybe this is a real story. And then, of course, to our previous conversation. um,
Yeah, I
but
always look things up. I was watching I'm Still Here last night and I was like, is this a true story? I was like, it seems like it could be true. So like I'm always sitting there Googling something. If I suspect it's a true story, I want to freaking see the real characters that, these people, these actors are playing. Like I want to see the side by side comparison. I want to see what happened, after I finished the movie.
how likely are you in that scenario, if it is a true story, to look up to see if there's like a documentary that was ever made on it?
Uh
No, strictly
Probably not.
strictly fictionally.
Depends on what the subject is.
Hmm.
Like I've watched a lot of like limited series and stuff like that are based on like I just watched that apple cider vinegar that was based on a real situation, and there is a documentary about the real girl, and I was kind of thinking of watching it, but I don't know if I will.
Yeah.
So if it's interesting to me, I might be like, oh, okay, yeah, I want to see more about that person who existed that this actress played.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm Still Here just won. So that was for best like foreign film, maybe?
Probably. Yeah, because I remember earlier they noted that it was nominated for both. I think it was probably during their little Best Picture skit on it, maybe.
Yeah.
It said it was nominated for both. So that's probably what that is.
It was a good movie.
I'm almost wondering then if we did not just see Best Director, because that's usually saved for the end of the night, and they certainly wouldn't announce it before international.
Well, they still have the actor and actress awards to announce and
Yeah.
best picture. So I mean, they're probably going to go over. We have another half hour, but they're probably going to go over. So they have 3 awards. So I think that was best director.
Yeah, that seems odd though to do it right then there. Because wasn't Brady Corbett the Brutalist director? That wasn't Brady Corbett. Because they showed him in the audience.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what that person looks like.
Because he won the Globe for it. He won the Globe for Best Director.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. What else would it be besides best director? Yeah, I think they only have the big actor awards left, right?
And Best Picture, which they always do Best Director around the same time. Like those are always the last 4. You know what I'm saying?
Best picture is always dead last. I think they also
Yeah.
do is it male actor or female actress that they usually kind of leave to second to last?
They always alternate them. I think they always alternate Best Actor, Best Actress. Which is, and I think like, how the best supporting ones, it's the previous year's winner. I think with Best Actor and Best Actress, it's the previous year's winner announcing the opposite
Yes,
category.
that's how they do it. Yeah. So what do you think about, we have these big awards left. What do you think? Do you think Timothee Chalamet is going to get it this time? Do you think Adrien Brody's going to get it?
I feel like, to me, I feel like Timothée Chalamet should be the favorite here.
Hmm.
But I also feel like the fact that we don't really have a favorite because Adrien Brody won the Globe and then
Yeah.
Chalamet won the SAG. I and we didn't have an upset with the best supporting categories. It was still Kieran and Zoe.
Yeah.
So I almost feel like there could be an upset with the best actor, best actress ones. And see a single I don't see a single possibility that Demi Moore could be upset. So
Huh.
I'm almost wondering if there's gonna be a third best actor win here.
That's not Adrien Brody or
That's
Timothee.
Yeah, which is like,
Really?
I don't believe that could happen. I don't believe that could happen, but I almost feel like they're setting, because there's always an upset. You know what I mean?
You know what? I could, if that were to happen. Okay, so I'm going to take a gamble here. I'm going to say it's going to be Timothée Chalamet, right?
Yeah.
But if it's not Timothée Chalamet, if it were not him and it wasn't Adrien Brody, I would say it's going to be Ray Fiennes.
I think it would be Fiennes as well. Ralph Fiennes. I think
That's how you say his name.
they don't pronounce the L.
They don't pronounce the L. Conan had a joke about it. He said, "Then I'm going to start calling him Ralph if he doesn't win."
Oh, I heard the joke, but I didn't hear the enunciation.
Yeah, it's Rafe, like Rafe. That's how you say it, Rafe. Because I think
Hashtag Rafe Redemption.
He's Scottish or English, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, actually, that's interesting because I remember that joke, even though I completely misheard it. I remember that joke, and I thought that was almost the tipping of the cap that he was gonna win.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
like an
Like
indication?
Conan, Conan was almost like throwing the red meat out there that that he was gonna win the upset.
I could see that happening. So, okay, so we think there's potential for a shakeup.
Yeah.
But what about best actress? We think Demi Moore is going to sweep it again?
I would say so. Yes, she was
Uh,
just so phenomenal. She was so phenomenal in the substance. It was I couldn't. I kind of couldn't believe. I kind of couldn't believe what I was watching in that one. Just because she was so believable in that.
she like just like the awkward crazy things they had to do, like even I just found it a little bit crazy that Margaret Qualley wasn't really nominated for best supporting for anything, just because like I realized, you know, when they keep having to switch, I realized when like literally Margaret Qualley had to lie naked on top of Demi Moore and had to like Demi Moore had to like push her off. Like they both had to be naked. Like it's so weird. Like the things you have to do when you're an actress.
Yeah. Okay. To our Cobra Kai discussion of real life versus fiction.
Yeah.
What's weirder than seeing a situation like that where they're just two naked bodies lying on top of each other that obviously aren't doing anything romantic, or the romantic situations where the actors aren't together in real life and they're sleeping together on the screen.
No, the naked thing's definitely crazier. I was just picturing it in my mind, like the director being like, "Okay, Demi, you're going to be over here. You know, Margaret." Like I
Yeah.
just pictured it in my head, like how wild and just like weird that would be. Like just all in a day's work, gotta lie naked
Yeah.
on some other woman. Like,
Yeah, it's one thing for the cinematographers to do it, because those you almost feel like are like the Sports Illustrated photographers, so they're just kind of shooting, you know what I mean? But the
yeah, but like
director, like the
this isn't
actually giving,
OnlyFans.
yeah, exactly. I would, I hate to think it would be Amelia Perez with the
Oh
upset
god, yeah. I don't think so. But like who could win? Cynthia Erivo maybe if Demi Moore didn't, but I feel like Demi Moore is going to win.
I think it's that much of a slam dunk that it's not even a feasible topic. But if if she were to be upset for Best Actress, I would think Mikey Madison.
I would love that, but
Yeah.
I sadly I don't think that's going to happen. I would love for that to happen, but I don't really think it's possible. I think she's a real big underdog this.
What is what would you say as far as Fernando Torres, because she won the Globe. I didn't catch I'm Still Here. So
That was the mother and I'm Still Here, I think. I'm pretty sure, right? The older lady.
was she the main character?
She was good.
Okay. Like Demi Moore good, Mikey Madison good.
I don't know, it's so different. I mean, yeah, I could see any of them winning. I can't speak for Cynthia Erivo because I didn't see it, but I think they all like deserve it. This is film
Uh
score. Apparently, we thought something else was score, but this is just film score that was announced for Brutalist.
yeah, maybe that was cinematography,
Oh, yes, that's probably what it was.
which I was upset I wasn't which I was upset we were kind of engaged in discussion. I didn't catch that because I did want to know who. I'm always curious to know who wins that. um I will say, to clarify our confusion before, that was definitely not director, because I'm looking at the director nominees right now, and the director was Brady Corbett. So that guy,
Okay.
if that was Brutalist winning, that was not director.
So what was that then?
I will scrub
What
around and
did
look, because
what did
I
we
did.
miss, man?
Hey, it's hard doing a live show and watching and reacting to something at the same time.
Yeah.
Especially when we can't leave it up all the time. Thank you so much, YouTube.
I know. It's hard out here for a pimp, man.
That's right.
Did you ever see that movie, Hustle and Flow?
I think so. I didn't know that was from Hustle and Flow.
Yeah. Well, it's
Maybe
a
I didn't see
song.
it.
It's Terrence
I remember
Howard.
the song. No, I remember the song.
You know it's
Right.
hot out here for a pimp.
I remember the song. I remember the song. I just didn't know it was from that movie. I was thinking American Hustle.
American Hustle. That was with Christian Bale, right? And
Yeah, and Bradley Cooper.
yeah, and Amy Adams.
Yeah,
That was a good movie.
I haven't seen her actually. That's funny. You bring her up because I haven't seen her in anything in a while.
Who, Amy Adams?
Yeah.
She was nominated for a Golden Globe for that Night Bitch movie, which I never saw, and I don't know what the hell it's about, but it's called Night Bitch. So who the hell knows?
Which is weird to think Amy Adams with in a film called something bitch because she's like America's sweetheart.
But she was in that what is it called? Sharp Object. She was in that HBO show that was kind of gritty, and like she played kind of a mess up like lady who didn't have her life together. So she was kind of gritty in that.
That sounds intriguing to me. I did not know that was a thing.
Okay, so Whoopi Goldberg and Oprah are on the screen, and what are they presenting for? But I see them, and immediately I'm like, I can't say I care what they have to say.
I see that. We see that, and we're almost thinking like, what agenda item are they pushing today?
Right?
Yeah. I'm gonna find this category. I am, but I'm not having any kind of success with it.
Yeah, I don't know what that what could that have been?
Oh, it was cinematography. Okay, it was
Okay.
cinematography.
So it was
Lowell-
Brutalist who won for
Crawley.
cinematography.
Lowell Crawley, because that was the name of the man that won. So Lowell Crawley, and he's under the Brutalist. Okay, which based on so actually here is my little stick in the mud moment.
Oh God.
I don't know how. The Substance wasn't nominated for Best Cinematography or Best Editing. That was shot so like old school, like with like the extreme close-ups, and there was a scene where I think
it's almost kind of like a fish lens, right? With Dennis Quaid, they use like a fisheye lens kind of thing.
Yeah. There was one shot where he's in a fish with the what'd you call it? Fishbowl lens?
Fisheye lens.
Fisheye lens. And then there was the other scene where she's like feeling disconnected because she knows she's getting fired. They keep doing a close up of him eating the shrimp, and like those like quick sharp cuts. There was such like an old school edit feel to me that I'm like. And there was one scene where I think it was Sue. I don't think it was Elizabeth. I think it was Sue, where she's walking up and down. I almost said the boardwalk. I think it was Atlantic City. Up and down Santa Monica Boulevard or whatever it is, and they're like shooting the angle up at her. She like it just. There were so many things about it just felt like they were old school cinematographic cinematograph. That's
cinema techniques. I don't know.
I can't think of the adjective. But they just felt like such an old school touch that I don't know how that wasn't nominated for either of those categories.
Yeah, it did. It did have a unique style to it. Just the way that it was shot and the techniques that were used. Like there was like a lot of different like techniques.
Yeah. And then of course I know you thought it was over the top gore, but the scene at the end where she's spraying blood across the audience, to me, that also kind of felt like, obviously it wasn't black and white, but that kind of felt like Psycho a little bit.
It did feel like an old school movie, very much
Yeah.
so. And just the kind of like, I don't know what to call it. Like, just especially with like the part in the beginning with Dennis Quaid, like he's eating the crawfish or whatever, like it was kind of like a fun house, kind of like I don't want to say eerie, I don't want to say creepy, but just sort of like a jokey bizarro world vibe, and then
Hmm.
like zany, and then like the part in the end when she's like, she's already lost her teeth, and she's like, I'm about to go on stage, like I have to go on stage, and then Dennis Quaid comes over and he's like, I have all our shareholders or something, and
Yeah.
or the board or something, and so like there's like 10 of these execs, crowding around her, and like they're all just like watching her every moment. It was just like a fun house moment or something, like just that zany, like
Hmm.
not like over the top, but just, yeah, there was this style to it that was very like circusy. I don't know.
Uh, while we're on the topic, I do want to ask you about the substance, as far as um I didn't want to say like in a best picture kind of context, but that I lost my train of thought. I will come back to it.
Were you gonna ask about like the genre, or
Well, I mean, we could continue on that, and maybe it'll come back to me. Um, so because you thought you had the interpretation was to be a horror, and you were saying like it wasn't a horror, but it was something else. And I think we were discussing off air. You kind of thought maybe it fell into the category of thriller.
yeah, I think, not knowing what I was getting into, I was like, this is a horror movie and I don't want to watch a horror movie. But when I was watching it, like it did bring um back like old school, like retro vibes of techniques that they were using, but also it had some sort of modern facet to it. So I kind of took it as a thriller, being that it wasn't like boo scary kind of thing, but
Hmm.
it was sort of like a lot of like little shock reveals, and they really used the editing and the music for that. Every time, she notices that when she first noticed that her hand, her finger was turning like old, it's like that, like dun dun dun, like there's like the same repetitive sounds to signify certain things. Or like when she was Sue and like they had all the up close shots of like her butt and her thighs, and she's just like, around her apartment, like striking a pose, or like, come on guys, I'm Sue, let's dance today. Like there was just like a certain synth sound or a certain song that they used like with each like moment. So there was, yeah, it didn't have like the generic what you think of horror, but it did have like those like, oh, those like shocking moments where you're like, oh no, look at what's happening.
Speaking of the old to young thing, when she's in the diner as Elizabeth and she sees the old man version of that young kid that
Yeah,
convinced her to get it. Was that Tobin Bell? I know you probably never saw any of the Saw movies, but was that Tobin Bell?
I don't know who that is.
He he's Jigsaw from the Saw movies. The old man from the Saw movies. I don't know what else he was from, because to me he's just so iconic as Jigsaw. But
Oh no, I don't
I
think
swear
that
I
was him.
recognized him, and I was like,
I don't think that was him.
okay, good, because as the scene progressed, I didn't think it was him anymore. But when they first showed him, I was like, oh my god, it's Jigsaw.
Yeah, that was crazy when I realized it was the same guy from the doctor's office. Like they showed his eyes, and I was like,
Mhm.
It's just
Yeah.
I did kind of like how, you know, there were those like reveals like that because yeah, it's supposed to be shocking. So that's why I would say it's a thriller. And like, you
Yeah.
know, the moment where she realizes like you are one or something when Sue tries to kill Elizabeth and she's like wait, am I gonna die too? And then it said across the screen in this crazy font, but you are one, or
Which
you're supposed to be one.
I thought it was funny because when she's aging and she starts to look like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and
Yeah.
when they become the monster, the Suabeth, whatever they called it in the big green graphic,
Yeah.
and when she becomes the monster, she turns around and it's Demi Moore's normal face in the monster's back. It's not like the old Hunchback's face in her back.
I know. I wondered how the hell they did that. Like it must have been Margaret Qualley wearing the getup, but some sort of green screen that they were wearing that they could like impose, superimpose Demi Moore's face on. Like it was weird.
Yeah, another ten- tes- tenement testament to why that deserves makeup.
Special effects.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no makeup, not visual effects.
Yeah.
I was doing.
Yeah. Yeah, that
I
was truly nasty when they were like the combined monster. Like that was just really gross.
yeah, I do remember what I was going to say before. Um, so with I can't say it was a woke thing, although we're gonna do best actor here in a minute, so maybe I should hold my thought.
Or best actress, if it's Cillian Murphy, he's probably
Yeah,
presented for a woman.
right, but they also showed all the best actor nominees behind him.
Oh, really?
So I don't maybe they ditched the opposite thing this year because they guys I saw Fiennes and I saw Coleman
Oh, yeah,
Domingo.
because Robert Downey Jr. talked to all men.
Right, but that's normal. I don't think they alternate. I don't think they ever alternate the best supportings.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of Golden Globes or SAGs that they do the opposite sex. The
No,
person who
they
won.
definitely do it. They definitely do it in the Oscars too. I've seen them do it before. Um, I think I'm pretty sure I've seen them do it before.
Oh, this will be real interesting to see who wins this because
Yeah.
there's a pretty good chance it's either Timothee Chalamet or Adrien Brody, but there's that little chance that it could be someone else.
And that would be very interesting if it is one of them because that means no surprises. No surprises, no upsets. I can't
Yeah.
even I can't even fathom the thought of an Oscars without an upset.
Well, Best Picture might be an upset. We don't know.
That's true. Yeah, I mean that's true. I mean they could give the favorites to they could give the acting categories to the favorites and then just blow our minds out of the water with Best Picture and give it
Because
to Amelia
Conclave,
Pérez.
I'm pretty sure Conclave won for Golden Globe Best Picture, and I was kind of like pissed at that.
Yeah, and it won something earlier in this as well.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. Well, that was Best Adapted Screenplay
yes, that's right.
because it was a book. I believe it was a book from like 2015 or 2016.
Yeah, yeah. They're showing the Sebastian Stan scene in The Office, which was like to me the the most he looked like Donald Trump. The most he seemed like Donald Trump in that one.
Oh, Adrian Brody. Okay, so not really a surprise there.
Yeah. Okay, so no upset. All right, well, the tie's broken. The tie's broken then. Adrian Brody's the best actor of the year because he's got two to Chalamet's one.
That
So
could
that's
have
it.
gone either way.
Yeah. No, I could have gone on. That was to me that was the closest. That was the closest flip of a coin I think in recent memory.
Mm.
That like between like two favorites. Like the best supporting actor, I could have gone 4 ways on that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a tough one.
Yeah, but this one, in reality, it should have been between Adrien Brody and Timothée Chalamet.
Yeah.
I have to remind myself not to say Chalamet now, which is funny that Adam Sandler did the joke.
I know.
He did the joke in the beginning, and he's wearing his sweats and his gym shorts.
I feel like Adrien Brody's a pretty classy guy, right? He just
Oh, very much so. And it's funny because when he won the pianist, um, when he won that initially, I remember him jumping up and down like a little kid on the stage when he accepted the award. So
Oh, I
like
don't remember that one. That was a while
to,
ago.
to see, oh, it was a long time ago. I was in middle school. Um,
Oh wow.
and I think I was anyway, because I remember the field trip which I didn't go on, but I remember the field trip to go see the movie, and I remember one of my middle school teachers explaining the plot because it was all, or most of it was subtitled. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, he's much more reserved um in this one. Or the emotions are kind of hitting him more, rather, I should.
Yeah. Yeah, he's kind of getting emotional, but I don't know, good for him. He's not, Adrien Brody's not a conventionally good-looking guy. He's a talented guy, and he's
Hmm.
got like an attractive wife. Like, good for you, Adrien Brody. Get it.
Yeah. Outkicked his coverage.
No, I'm happy for him. He deserves it. I guess it just wasn't, he's a decent amount older than Timothée Chalamet. I feel like Timothée Chalamet still got a lot of time, like to have like that role in his tool belt. And think of someone like Leo who took forever for them to
Years.
win.
Yeah. Although I feel like Timothée Chalamet may not be waiting as long as Leo did.
No, I don't think Timothée Chalamet will have to wait very long.
Yeah. Although it's fun, like Adrien Brody is kind of like, he's kind of got a little bit of that Meryl Streep type of aura right now, with kind of being a lock to win anytime he's, in these nomination categories.
But he's also not nominated very often. Like I'm trying to think of when the last time he was nominated was.
He's got a high winning percentage. If he's not automatic every time, he's got a high winning percentage. We hold on. We spoke about this. We spoke about this on a previous live.
Wasn't it like 10 years ago or something? It's not like it was like, Leo is like every other year he's got a movie out and he's nominated for it. It's just like,
Grand Budapest.
okay, what was that? 2015 or something? 27?
2014. Good guess.
Oh, okay. So that was a solid 11 years ago or 10 years ago.
And Midnight in Paris. He was
2011?
won 2 Oscars, which is updated for this. So the only other, so he did lose those two. He did lose Midnight in Paris and Grand Budapest.
Okay, but yeah, it's not like every time you turn around, he's doing like 5 movies a year. You know what I mean? Like he really
Yeah.
cherry picks his roles and he's not nominated all the time.
No. Wait, what was your guess on Midnight in Paris?
2011?
Yeah, spot on. Uh, yeah, so 2002, 2011, 2014, and
Yeah.
2024.
All kind of spaced out. So
Well, the wins are very spaced out. The losses are only 3 years apart.
well, those ones, yeah.
Yeah. But the wins are very spaced out. 22 years in between wins.
Wasn't he on a TV show? Didn't we find out that he was on a TV show that we just did not expect? I feel
He
like we
was
talked
on a
about this.
TV show. He was on a TV show. I just closed IMDb, of course,
Wasn't
because I'm an
wasn't
idiot.
it like a Peacock show or something that we were like, Adrien Brody, really?
Yes, that's right. I do remember that conversation, actually.
Yeah, what's that show with that? It's not that show with that girl, Natasha Lyonne. Is it her show?
Apparently, he was in Succession at one point, which I don't remember that. He was
It wasn't
also
that
in
show.
Peaky Blinders at one point.
Yeah, I remember that. That makes sense.
No, you're right, though. He did play Harry Houdini on the History Channel, but I don't think that's what we're referring to.
No, it was, I want to say it was him. It was something in the past year or two that we were like, really? Adrien Brody? He's like a serious actor. I can't believe he's.
What's Detachment? That's not a show.
It wasn't like, I want to say it was that show with Natasha Lyonne. It wasn't like Poker Face, or what the hell is that show called?
Poker Face is in his filmography, but I didn't watch that, so.
I didn't watch it either, but I remember it being shocking that he was in a show like that that seemed kind of on a small scale to me.
And it is a Peacock series.
Yeah, right? I mean,
Natasha Lyonne.
although Eddie Redmayne did a Peacock show, but that was like associated with like Sky News or Sky News, Sky or BBC or whatever, one of those big British networks.
Yeah. Here's best director. So maybe this is gonna be the upset, because here's Tarantino announcing it. Maybe this one's gonna be the big upset.
You don't think Brutalist is going to win?
I don't know. I think Brady Corbett should be the favorite, but I also feel like what's his name, Sean Baker. Actually, you know what? I would not be surprised if Coralie Fargo, if that's how you say her name for the
Oh,
substance, I would
Sean
not.
Baker. Sean Baker.
Oh, this makes me happy.
Nice. Anora's, yes, they didn't get the actor awards, but they're kind of cleaning up with the other awards.
Yeah. Well, the acting awards were such monumental, you know, kind of pillars to fall. I'm not surprised there.
Well, Mikey Madison still has a chance. They haven't done her
That's
award
true.
yet.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
I think sadly she's not going to win, but
Yeah, I don't think she will either. Oh, that. Okay, that actually. You know what? Maybe Anora wins Best Picture.
oh man, I would
Because
be so
sometimes,
happy with that.
a lot of times, the director and the Best Picture do fall in line with each other. Um, that's our three. I mean, obviously, this is one of the big directors, one of the big ones, but also to win those two, kind of big behind the camera categories.
Yeah.
Um, that's a big deal.
Especially to have original screenplay and director, like because it was written and directed by the same person. Like, I mean, that could give it an edge for Best Picture. That would be awesome if that happened. I just don't want Conclave to win because I don't think they deserve it, to be honest.
No. I will say we may have just been removed from YouTube.
Uh-oh.
Although there are two people hopping on right now, so I don't know. Maybe we still are on YouTube. I'm not sure right now. Please comment if we're still live on YouTube, because I got the email to say we got a copyright strike. So if you're seeing us on YouTube, please leave a comment. Let us know. Let us know you're watching us, because I don't know what's lying to me.
Oh man.
Right at the freaking end. I did too many cut-ins.
Yeah.
I did too many cut-ins. Okay. This is definitely an upset, though. This is definitely an upset.
Yeah, kind of unexpected.
Yeah.
You were just about to say that it very well could have been the female director of The Substance, which yeah, I mean, it could have been.
Yeah. She was, and she actually what because I really thought Anora was gonna get stiffed. So I
Me
really was
too.
actually expecting someone else to win, and if I had to pick somebody else, I would have thought it would have been The Substance there.
Yeah.
But maybe The Substance, and this is actually my point that I was trying to remember before. Um, I'm thinking that this could actually be a reason why The Substance could win Best Picture. And I don't necessarily see this as a woke thing, but I kind of feel like there was a very obvious message
Yeah.
in The Substance as far as the ageism thing in Hollywood, where like I think Dennis Quaid's character says at one point, like once you hit 50, you're done.
Yeah.
So and that was what started to trigger her to want to take this drug that would, bring Sue into reality. I really felt like they were making a very obvious point, and we've seen where like Birdman in the past won because it was a real life interpretation of something about how Hollywood is. So I
It
would
kind of
not
had
be
a message.
surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if Substance won for a similar reasoning.
I
That
I mean,
makes
I could
sense.
see that. Like I think it's a valid point, and like I kind of saw a lot of parallels between the actual substance and like Ozempic and things like that. You know what I mean? Or like just Demi Moore's Elizabeth, her character's obsession, like the moment where she finally decides to call up that guy who approached her and is like, "Hey, remember me from middle school or whatever?" And
Hmm.
um, so she finds his number and she's like, "I'm gonna go out with him because he's gonna make me feel good about myself because he said I was always beautiful." So she's looking in the mirror and she's just like, oh, oh my neck, like just, and then she just like keeps like she's like maniacally like putting on like blush or something, and she just keeps like adding things, and she's just like, oh, this is not looking like that was
And then she
that was
stands him up.
yeah, and then she stands him up because she's too busy, like she becomes obsessed with herself, and she's just like, oh, this doesn't look good, I need to put this on and to make that look better, but then she just makes herself look worse in the process, and she's like
Hmm.
having a nervous breakdown, and like I'm not going to say I've been there because not to that point obviously, but yeah, it's just it seemed like a concept of just showing how obsessed we are with looks, and obsessed with the next young chica that comes along that we have to compete with, or it's all these running themes, so like there's a good message there, but just with the way that I found out that they lobby for these movies to win these awards, I'm thinking that's not going to happen, and they wouldn't let that happen. They would let something like Emilia Perez win Best Picture.
Ah, I know they would let.
They would.
I don't
No,
like
they
the
would
idea
they
of
would
that.
arrange for it. They have these PR firms that push it like as if it's a political campaign. They push
Yeah,
for them to win.
which doesn't make me feel good about the whole like, is it staged kind of thing. Oh,
Yeah.
here's Emma Stone with short hair.
Yeah,
I don't
I
like
don't
that
think I don't
look.
think the pixie cut is for everybody. Sorry. Sorry, Emma Stone and Brie Larson, but
Oh, is
just until
that
you're part of the 4B movement, it doesn't look good. It
is that
doesn't.
is that what a pixie cut is? That like
No,
real that
four
like really
four
super short?
4B is the women who are just like, I'm not going to be an object of affection for men. I'm just going to make myself look as ugly as possible. So I'm going to cut off my hair and
No,
you
no,
know,
I was saying, is that what a pixie cut is? That like super short.
yeah, like
Yeah.
very, very
Okay.
short.
Yeah.
Like a pixie, like a fairy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that actually was.
I shouldn't assume you know these terms. I
Yes.
guess.
Yeah, the 4B. I didn't know that was the term for it either. I know that movement was a thing, but I didn't know they had a name.
Yeah, 4B is that's what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Demi Moore, or is it going to be Fernanda Torres?
I feel. Oh, actually, yeah. I guess technically that was a split too. I was just thought Demi Moore.
What? Mikey Madison just won.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, Anora just came out of they came out of like a snake in the grass to man. Oh, look at Igor. He's like crying. He's like so happy for her.
They're like almost a real couple.
And then Vanya, the actor who plays Vanya, is like clapping. He's so happy. Wow.
Well,
I did not expect that. But that's awesome. I'm happy about that.
I'm so happy about that. Not that I mean, I really did think Demi Moore was a slam dunk, and I kind of did want her to win just for that transformation. But like,
Yeah.
I love when you have an upset like this. I love when you have an upset like this, and a no-name performer is the one that takes home the grand prize here.
Do you think Demi Moore is pissed? She might have thought it was like a sure thing, and she probably was, because in her past speeches she's talked about how like, oh, it's so nice to finally be accepted and approved of, like at this point in my career in Hollywood. So she might have thought it was a sure thing. Like she probably feels awful right now.
Yeah, that's true, and especially if the theme behind the substance is true. Like she says, oh, they gave it to this new hot thing, this young pretty girl, instead of me who's been around for 30, 40 years.
Oh my God. Yeah, I know. It's the substance in real life, right?
Yeah. What did you say? I forgot what it was in context to, but in our previous live you said life imitates art, art imitates life. It's kind of like that kind of thing happening here.
Yeah. Wow, I'm just like shocked. Like that's awesome. I just did not expect that to happen. Did you manifest that? Because you mentioned that.
I did mention it actually.
You kind of called it.